Here we are at the New York Design Summit, and it is very exciting because I've got Diana here and also Christina from HOK. And we're going to talk about the champagne suites, but Christina, welcome to you.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Tell me to begin, what is HOK? What do you do?
It's a global architectural practice that has several different areas of practice within it, and we are lucky enough to be heading up the hospitality division.
Okay. And what does that mean to head up the hospitality division?
Well, it means that that's what we are super excited about, super passionate about, and that's all we do is hotel design work.
And Diana, the Champagne Suites, tell me about this.
Yes, it was a wonderful opportunity that we had to work with an iconic brand. And of course, doing the research on this iconic brand was quite fun, as you can imagine.
I don't know this brand. Maybe other people don't. What is the brand?
The brand was Dom Perignon.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I do know this
a
brand.
very recognizable
So
brand.
what did you do? Tell me about working with the brand.
Well, it was a wonderful collaboration. We met with the client, and we discussed exactly what this suite wanted to be and how it wanted to function. And it's a triplex, 8 bedrooms, 8 rooms, 3 bathrooms, a fireplace, a jacuzzi on the terrace, and it was quite exciting to go through all of these different functions that the brand wanted.
Okay, maybe take me back a little bit to the origins of this project. So they approached you and they said we wanted to create a suite. So tell me about the very beginnings of the project, and then we can talk about the actual design as well.
Yes, in the very beginning, it was about branding, and of course, building revenue for the hotel was one of the main functions. And when we met with our client, we were they gave us an idea of exactly what they wanted to sense in the space. They didn't want any logos presented or any signage. We were to incorporate all those things through the experience that the client had when they walked into the space, as well as some nuances that happened throughout the suite that kind of harked back to the brand. And so we had to come up with some creative ways to incorporate all those nuances. As you can imagine, when I mentioned the research, it was about finding out a little bit more, obviously, about the brand and coming up with an idea. And the idea was about contrast. And the contrast was about finding, when we speak about champagne, it's about the Chardonnay grape and the Pinot Noir, which is the white and the black. And so that's how we came about our concept, was a series of contrasts, smooth and dark, rough and bright. And it was all about the contrast in the space.
When HOK works with clients, Christina, say with Dom Perignon, which again is a very important, iconic brand, as Diana's saying. I was only kidding before, I do know this brand. What is it that you start to do from that sort of the very beginning of that process, to start that communication, to get those ideas out there?
Well, first I like to say that we try to get into character like an actor does. We immerse ourselves in all kinds of research. We want to become one with the client, who was Northwood Hospitality, and then Dom Perignon was somebody we were trying to co-brand with to make this suite stand out amongst all the other suite offerings in the New York City, which is extremely important in this tight market. Everybody wants a share. Everybody wants to be known and to be recognized. So it's really to grab the attention, the headlines.
So tell me more about that market to differentiate yourself. How tight really is it? What are we talking about here?
Well, there is a trend lately that suites are becoming more and more important. It's not just a standard guest room. Lots of our clientele are looking for larger spaces. They are traveling from foreign countries, et cetera, et cetera. Then, besides all of that, it's what do you have that's better than the next guy has? So in this case, it's a triplex. It's on top of the world in Midtown Manhattan, where you have wonderful landmarks all around you: the Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building. You have an outdoor deck, a private elevator, a jacuzzi on the deck. Everybody is trying to up the ante. We work on several projects in New York, and we had been at that point in time working on 4 different hotel projects in the city, and they're all trying to position themselves to grab the most of the market that they can.
And are you competing against yourselves? You're each hotel against your...
Sometimes, yes, we are. Well, we have separate design teams doing that. So for example, Diana would be doing perhaps one project, and I would be maybe doing the lead design on a different project. So
okay, so Diana, what's that like when you're designing to differentiate from the others who are in a very competitive market, but also you're actually designing to compete against your own,
Well,
staff?
I don't think about the competitiveness. Actually, I just. I get a sense of what I feel the client may want, and I just run with it. I don't look around me in that sense and to see who's chasing after me. I just do it from my heart. I listen to the client intently. I try to understand where their mindset is in terms of what they want to feel and how the space should feel, and I just focus my attention on really the client.
The idea that these are sort of branded spaces as well, I wondered if you could talk to me a bit about creating these spaces that are unique, clever kind of environments that are attached to the hotels as well. Maybe a bit of a sense of what that is like.
As far as our expertise goes, our job in terms of hotel design is to, as Diana mentioned prior, generate more revenue. Every space, every square inch needs to be singing a fantastic song to draw somebody new in off the street. So this project had, Diana actually did 2 suites. One was the champagne, the other was the jewel suite. And they wanted to appeal to different audiences. But that's paramount, is for the client coming up with a new angle to draw more people in, to really create more money.
And does that work? How do you know if it works? What's the success?
Well, you can never get into the suite. It's always booked.
That's true. What if you turn up carrying a bottle of champagne?
I mean, there's so many wonderful amenities. You have your private elevator, you have your private car service, you have a chef that comes in and prepares a meal for you, and you taste all the different champagnes with a meal. I mean, it's the amenities are really what attracts, I think, the clientele, obviously. And as Christina had mentioned, I mean, every single area has to sing. For instance, we have this beautiful dining table that seats 10 people, and the chandelier is made out of glass orbs that in the center part projects a client's logo, perhaps, in the center of the table, or something interesting, as a marketing tool for whomever is going to rent the space. When you're sitting on the sofa, you look up, and this beautiful chandelier has these custom glass pieces, 700 of them, sparkling down at you. You feel like you're in a glass of champagne. So every single experience I tried to create, I tried to envision myself sitting there and wondering what the guests would feel like and how they would experience their bed, and what does that feel like. And I put myself in those places. I even sat in the jacuzzi because I wanted to get a sense of what it felt like. Well, without water. I wanted to get a sense of what it felt like to just be there and look around and see this beautiful, iconic, skyline.
It was so lovely when I woke up there this morning in that space. It's been lovely staying there all week. Diana and Christina, thank you so much. It's wonderful to meet you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.